our two primary components to power in a fluid circuit, of course, are pressure and flow. And so we've got a pressure gauge to measure pressure, we've got some flow meters to measure flow, and I've pre-built a circuit that has two hydraulic motors in parallel with one another. That means they're both going to receive the same pressure, but of course the flow in the circuit I'm feeding out of the supply manifold. There's only one line, so my flow should get divided in half, and it should be just about exactly in half since these two motors are the same size and they are not being run under load. I've got the pressure gauge hooked up. I'm going to feed from the supply manifold into the pressure gauge, out of the pressure gauge, through my first flow meter into a T. My T will allow me to split the flow to feed each motor independently, at which point each motor will feed back to the reservoir. Turn the pump on, pressurize the circuit, and you'll see both motors spinning at approximately the same speed. And of course the rate of flow coming out of here, coming out of the pump is a little over 3 gallons per minute. The flow meter reads at both liters per minute as well as gallons per minute. We'll be using gallons per minute. So it's about 4 gallons per minute. And of course that means that the flow across one branch is going to be approximately 2 gallons per minute. 2 gallons per minute feeding this motor, 2 gallons per minute feeding this motor, and then both going on to the return. Not much to worry about when you hook up a flow meter, but you do want to make sure that you put it in the circuit properly, meaning you're going to feed pressure in the bottom and out the top. That's the only way the pressure gauge will read properly. If you hook it up backwards, you're liable to blow out an O-ring that holds a tight seal within the meter itself. Pressure gauges, fairly self-explanatory. We're going to feed in and we're going to feed out, but you have to remember the pressure gauge does read in parallel. It's meeting the differences between two different quantities, and those quantities are the pressure that's generated within the circuit as a result of the hydraulic pump versus the surrounding atmospheric pressure. And this pump happens to be reading as producing about 175 pounds per square inch, 175 psi.